Assalamu alaikum and thank you for tuning in. Today we are here with respected Waseem Syed Sahib, who serves as National Secretary for Waqf Jadid USA and is also part of the National Tabligh team. He is here today to answer a few of our questions. So, how are you feeling right now?
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, Jazakallah for having me here. I'm feeling very, very happy. This is probably one of the, you know, least expected things that I thought I would be doing at Jasa Salana. But I'm so happy to be here, and I'm ready to answer any questions you have about. I'm feeling good.
Well, it's good to know that you're feeling good. And as we all know, you've traveled to Mexico before. And I just wanted to ask you, what was Mexico like?
Mexico, when I went, I passed through Mexico many times in the past, but only at the airport. And I always had a kind of an apprehension and a fear of Mexico being perhaps a city which is violent. I'm talking about the DF, the capital. But now, by Allah's grace, because of the Tabligh plan that's being directed by Khalifatul Masih in Mexico, I went there and I was very pleasantly surprised by not just the city of Mexico, which is the capital city, but also all of Mexico. I've been in Yucatan, I've been in Querétaro, I've been in San Luis Potosi, I've been in Puebla. We've had people go to Yucatan and Quintana Roo, which has Cancun as the main city. And Alhamdulillah, we've found it to be a very pleasant place to convey the message of Islam Ahmadiyyat.
Well, it's nice to know you have good feelings about Mexico now. And I just wanted to know, how did you learn the Spanish language?
Again, a sheer grace and blessing of God and a bounty. I was sent in 1987 by Jamaat to Bolivia on a Tabligh project, on a Waqf Arzi, 6 months. And I knew no Spanish at that time. I was a lot younger, but the beautiful thing was that when I arrived there, I stayed in a hotel which was very, very low cost. Nobody spoke English. And I was kind of thrown into the swimming pool, to learn to swim.
Yes.
And in about 23 days, one lesson a day, watching, soap operas and interacting with businessmen from the nearby countries. In about a month, I picked up pretty much what I needed. And after that, I was given an opportunity by Allah to work in Guatemala and then in Colombia, in many other Latin American kind of situations. And I kept learning, alhamdulillah. And it's not a difficult language to learn. It really is. If you know English and you're willing to kind of start early, I think a person can pick up enough Spanish in about a month.
Wow, that's amazing how you were able to pick it up so easily too. But just like you said, it's easy to pick it up as long as you try, which is good.
As long as you try, and total immersion helps.
Right.
Everybody around you is speaking, Spanish. There's nobody to latch on to in Punjabi or English or Urdu.
Well, that's good. So, how was the response in Mexico to the tabligh that you were doing?
Again, very, very surprising. A lot of times, from my experience based in 1987 when I went to Bolivia, the people in these Latin American countries are, they were totally Catholic. They knew of no idea of a religion other than Catholicism. If you talk to them about religion, they thought Catholicism. For them, everything else didn't exist even. And it's very hard to convey that in a language. I can just tell you that recently, when we went to Bolivia, somebody came up to us and she said, I used to be a Catholic, then I became a Christian. And for me, that was a very surprising thing, right? Catholicism for us is Christianity.
Right.
What she meant was she became a Protestant. So this is how deeply ingrained Catholicism is in the minds of the people of Latin America. But now, when we go and when we went and we started to tell people about Islam, they were people who were interested in listening to what we had to say. And this was reflected in the success that we were blessed. But I think for everything, Allah has appointed a time. And also, when you go and do something at the behest of the Khalifa, whom Allah has given the mantle of Khilafat, you see angels working to have His command achieve success. And I am a witness to that. And I was just saying today to everybody that, if you go and do as the Khalifa tells you to do, you will see in your own life these angels working for you, and it was miraculous. So very good reception, very interested, and I think it looks like as though Latin America is ready to receive the message of Islam, and they are ready to reclaim that heritage, of the Muslims who existed in Spain for 700 years. So we are ready to, inshallah ta'ala, convey this message to all of Latin America.
Well, that's amazing how you were exposed to such a new culture that you've never been exposed to before, and you were able to adapt and convey this message, and people were so interested in it. And by the grace of God, people.
It really is the grace of God, and I mean, we are exposed to this culture a little bit here, some more than others, because there are something like 54 million Latino living in America.
But as you said, like people were only exposed to Catholicism, like they didn't know the
Sure.
difference between Catholicism and Protestants. Like you said.
Absolutely. They did not have even a rudimentary knowledge really of Islam. Latin America, and this is something for you, as you learn history, you will see, in 1400 years, the message of Islam has not penetrated Latin America. And this is a great opportunity. It still exists for us to benefit from, to go and convey the message somewhere where there is really very little to no knowledge of Islam.
Yeah, well, that's really amazing. And so we know that you go to do tabligh in Mexico, right? So what can we as a Atfal do to help you out?
I think, first of all, definitely we need to, and you need to, and all of us need to remember that everything that will happen, Promised Messiah said, will happen through prayers. So we need to perfect our worship. We need to, as Hazur is saying to us again and again, develop a real living connection with God. And the younger you start, the more success. Your plate, your slate is clean. You have a really good possibility of connecting with God. A pure soul can connect with God that much easier. So that's number one. Number two, listen to Hazur's khutbahs every week, and you will see there that he tells us again and again that we should do everything necessary to be ready to do the conveying of the message of Islam. So in this particular context, learning Spanish would be fantastic. I think every Ahmadi should know, apart from Urdu and whatever language of the country where they live, another language. And in America, I think Spanish would be fantastic. All the children can easily acquire it, and then you can become that much more valuable when you go to Mexico or when you are sent somewhere to carry out the mission,
Also,
or convey the message here.
Right, because the Latino population is growing.
Right.
In America, even.
They're going to become the biggest,
right,
apparently, and so it's a double gain, right? So you're doing what the Khalifa is telling you to do, so you're gaining from that, and you're doing something that will in any case be of great benefit to you.
Right. All right, well, thank you for answering all my questions. It was quite a pleasure to have you. And to all our viewers out there, thank you for tuning in. This is Hamza signing off.